Do you like murder mysteries? Do you like full motion video? Well, I know the answer to both of those things is yes. So we're looking at the Shapeshifting Detective, which has both. And this is the new game from the developers of The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker, which I did a few streams of a while back. So we're going to take a look at this and see how it might be similar to Dr. Decker and how it might be different. What kind of mystery is being given to us this time? And you might notice that man right there on the left is the main actor from Contradiction, which was another full motion video game from a different developer. But he appears in this game as a character. Not the main character. The main character is us. We're basically a blank slate who can shapeshift into other people. Hence the name. We're going to start a new game. And erasing the data is fine. I completed the first chapter, which wasn't that far in. So we'll just restart. So we can see the beginning.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
I thought I had subtitles turned on.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
I do have subtitles turned on. Okay. It's just not during that intro. All right, here is a very stern-looking man who tells us that we need to learn to keep our mouths shut. Who we are? We're Sam. Our face is blurred because who knows what we look like. What if we just ask this person who he is?
Exactly. Rewind.
Okay, so he has the power to restart the game, apparently, because we did not keep our mouth shut. And we do have to watch the intro again. I don't think we can skip this. So I guess I'll just cut this out of the video. I'll have to watch this again, but I guess you won't. We'll just go straight to that stern-looking guy right now.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
So if we responded again, the game would just reset again. This is, I guess, a little bit of a tutorial, teaching us about this trash can icon, teaching us that if we want to just not answer, we can just hold that.
You know why you're here, don't you?
Well, which one do we answer, yes or no? I mean, I've played through the first chapter, so I know, but you don't know, so let's say no.
The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time?
He's asking us a direct question. Should we keep our mouth shut or should we answer? Well, let's try keeping our mouth shut. He told us to keep our mouth shut, right?
Splendid. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood?
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Understood?
Apparently keeping my mouth shut is not what we should be doing right now, so I'll answer yes.
Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, You'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
I don't know what that means, to deprecate a person, but
To use your ability. Just don't get caught.
it seems ominous.
And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for?
Okay, so if you played Dr. Decker or watched the streams, you might recognize her. She played what we thought might have been a mermaid in that game. Here, I think she is just a normal human being. She owns this guest house. How long are we going to stay here? As long as it takes.
Yes, the chief said it may be a while. I can see you don't mind getting your hands dirty, though. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in.
I wonder if that ever actually works. Probably. I guess if you have a famous murder, there are people who would want to come. Like a murder that just happened last night, though. Hey, a murder just happened this week. Let's go check out that place. Do people do that? Visitors?
It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet.
Like so quiet someone could die. It's murderly quiet. It sure is homicidally silent these days. The murder?
Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you?
Chief?
Chief Dupont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
What are you implying?
Just finishing.
All right. Now, she is from Contradiction, this actress, I believe. So she has a deck of tarot cards, so let's ask her about that. Predicting the future.
You don't believe?
We have the power to shapeshift, so we probably believe in some supernatural occurrences. I believe.
That sounded serious. You must have a serious job to do. Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Bronwyn, pleased to meet you. I'm Sam.
Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading.
Sure.
So, what's your question, Sam?
Well, we know that we're investigating a murder. We don't really know much about our character's background. We know that we're not actually named Sam, but we don't know who we are. Will I win?
The Fool. I'm going to see a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? Well, enjoy the journey. But remember, not everything is winnable. I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam?
I like how the camera cuts so much. I guess they have to do that, so they have like little video clips that they can assemble later on, but it's kind of weird. Now let's tell her where we are. Last on the left.
Good. We're neighbors. Just knock if you need me.
Chest, the weight on her shoulders, the pain from the demon.
So the radio is playing like some sort of radio story, like a horror story. We should hail a cab, because Violet did say to go visit the chief. We haven't spoken to him yet. Is that us? We can see like a reflection.
Tried to reach out in that subtle human way.
I can't see the reflection anymore, but there was someone in the mirror. Were we not supposed to see that?
Going as easily
because we haven't actually seen what we look like.
And she was afraid.
Well, I don't see anything now, but let's visit the chief.
My ring.
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector Dupont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs?
What jobs do we have? We don't really know. I'm Sam.
Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers.
Why the tarot readers?
Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up.
Okay, so the tarot readers predicted Dorota's death, but if you believe that that's impossible, then surely they must be the murderers. That makes sense. Crazy?
It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously.
So this actor is probably the best thing so far about this game, and was the best thing about Contradiction. He is very good, and you want him on screen as much as possible. Why isn't she in jail?
Because things. I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it?
All right, so we're going to be working for him to try to go to the places that the police can't and talk to the people that the police can't. I'll try.
Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you.
Okay, so we only have pretend authority. Help me out?
Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork.
So, what problem does our character have? Problem?
Your old town? The problem? Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it.
So, we don't really know what it is that we did. That guy at the beginning said we screwed something up, and that will be deprecated if we do it again. Let's find out something. While he's putting his hat on and looking very pleased, let's ask him about Dorota.
What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself.
When was she killed?
Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner. We got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m.
Killed on the 9th at 9. I don't suppose this takes place in September, does it? Where was Dorota killed?
In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know.
Okay, the gold coin is not public information. What can you tell me about Violet?
Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you?
Well, she hasn't told me anything. Maybe we can say nothing, or we can be silent.
Look, if it's about the pills, I already know.
Well, she didn't mention anything about pills, but now that's information that we have. What do we know?
Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
Of course. So we could ask him if he has an alibi, or we could just be silent on that. It would be weird to ask the police chief if he has an alibi, but I guess we can ask.
Do I have an alibi for last night? Do I? Okay. I was here, and there are video monitors that will prove it. Thanks for ruling me out, genius.
Well, I mean, I guess technically he could be a suspect, since he is a person we can speak to.
Graves in the field.
Let's go back to the guest house.
Unstoppable, relentless waves eroding the people on shore.
All right, let's just go start talking to people, like Bronwyn.
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading.
So Bronwyn was the one who told the chief that Dorota was going to be murdered, so she's the main suspect. I have some questions about the murder.
Chief Dupont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise.
Why should I convince him?
All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death.
Except you predicted her murder.
We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team.
How did you predict the murder?
We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful.
Can't you just ask who the killer is?
Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know.
So there's special cards. Just can't ask them anything. Where were you at 9 p.m. last night?
In my room, reading. I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me.
Saved you?
She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her.
All right, we have something we can now ask another character. You think Violet is trashy?
I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy.
Well, that's all we can ask Bronwyn. So
He sounds great.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
let's visit Rain.
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way.
I'm Sam.
Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way. So it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me.
Hot water off at 9, but what if you like a late shower? All right, that's not relevant to the case, though. What do you know about Dorota?
I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician.
That's correct. She was a cellist. Who's the next victim? Rain.
Next victim? Whoa! Hold on a sec. We don't even know if there's going to be a next victim or not. We'll do another group reading soon, and then we'll have a better idea.
How did you predict the murder?
We did a reading. A group reading, actually. With a special tarot deck.
What did it tell you?
You get it piecemeal. Not everything in one reading. The last one we did showed a young woman being murdered. Young, talented, probably red-headed.
Tell me about the special tarot deck.
Mercury? It's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck.
Ooh, special. Can I see it?
I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it.
What were you doing last night?
I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work.
What didn't work?
My prayer. That the girl would be safe.
Well, that's all we can ask.
That by the cat flap didn't seem to be moving.
Let's go back to Bronwyn, because now we know that she has the special Mercury deck. Yeah. Can I see the Mercury tarot?
Mercury? Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam?
Yeah, sure.
It wants to know if you're happy being the person you are now.
Not really.
Mercury agrees with you. It's nice that you're being honest with me and with yourself.
I guess that's the only thing we can ask. So we've seen the Mercury deck.
Ivan dropped down next to the kitten. Shh.
We can tune the radio, but all we can do is just turn it off. And now it just zooms in on the radio without anything playing. Alright, one more person to speak to. Let's go visit Lexi.
Hi. Sam, is it? Come on in. Make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on.
Alright, so she's the third tarot reader. Did you know Dorota?
I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
How did you know she was going to die?
Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is?
I don't actually know much about it. The Happy Squirrel?
You've done your research. The Happy Squirrel was vague and mysterious, but not evil.
So what is the most dangerous tarot card?
The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want, no matter the cost.
You drew the Five of Swords for Dorota?
Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad.
How well do you know Bronwyn?
She's like my big sister, so pretty well.
Do you think... we don't have to ask this, but why not? Do you think she killed Dorota?
No.
Why did you come to August?
The cards told us to. Well, the cards of Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery-pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is.
Jiggery-pokery, I guess, is the official technical name for what they do. You do whatever the cards tell you?
No. Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do.
Oh, a job?
I didn't say job. I said job.
A job?
Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions.
That is terrible. That is like the worst lie I have ever heard. I know you're lying.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Well, I can't answer like that. What were you doing last night?
I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails.
Oh, well, let me see the nails.
No, I mean, yeah. I've already cleaned it off.
Well, there's nothing else we can ask, though. She is an awful, awful liar. If anyone here is going to break, it's going to be her. All right, let's get to the main gimmick of this game. Let me go to our room. So it's called the Shapeshifting Detective. And once we're in the privacy of our room, we'll find out why. First, we need to take a good look at it. Pan around. It's our room. There we go. Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we can decide who do we want to shapeshift into and then talk to people. So these are our 3 tarot readers. Let's turn into Bronwyn and talk to the others.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Our character is now voiced because we have Bronwyn's voice. Let's talk to Lexi again.
Bron, are you okay?
I'm not okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
Good. It's not our fault this stuff happens. We're just the messengers.
We've seen a lot of stuff.
That is a convincing line.
Are you asking me or telling me? Yes, we've seen a lot of stuff. You seem weird.
Uh-oh.
Just go and regroup or something, then come back and make me feel better about myself.
She's seeing through the illusion already. I thought this was something that we did for a living. Let's talk to Rain.
Bron, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what exactly, but it's not right.
Thoughts on Dorota?
Well, it's hard to say with just one victim. Musical talent, red hair. If there's another, there will be a pattern. Do you think it's another right?
What would that be?
As in the same thing we were chasing after in Birmingham? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just have to try and stop it.
Stop it?
All right, well, we could ask about what happened in Birmingham, but I would assume Bronwyn should already know that. Let's ask about stopping it.
Yes, stop it. If it's a traveller killing things.
Traveller?
So we can ask this or we can not. Now, the main objective that we were given at the beginning is don't get caught. So
Traveller?
Maybe we don't want to ask that.
If it follows the same pattern as Birmingham, we're looking at 2 more victims.
Alright, so 2 more people might die. I think the idea is that we don't want to ask questions just as many as we can, because there's the risk that the person we're talking to might realize that we're not actually the person we think that they think we are. And if we get caught, if we get found out, then I assume that's game over. Let's talk to Violet.
Is there something I can help with, Miss Castle?
I hope we're not being too much trouble.
It's very brave of you to tell the chief that Dorota will be murdered and then stick around afterwards. I'd have run for sure.
You strike me as someone braver than that.
Well, why would we run?
Why would I run?
We're innocent, right?
You're prime suspect, aren't you? You look strong enough to strangle another woman. Even if you're innocent, a jury would probably convict you.
Even if I'm innocent?
Well, you look pretty strong, too.
You look strong enough to strangle another woman, too.
Well, if you can't pay for your rooms, we might just find out.
Wait, you think that the tarot readers are going to cut and run? Not going to pay their bill? We can also turn this back on.
Away from her, but I still felt the thump.
If you want to just listen to that story some more. Okay, we can also go to the chief.
There was no denying.
Miss Castle, I'm surprised to see you here.
I didn't kill Dorota.
So I'm not sure why we're continuing to do this in front of the chief, but maybe we also are trying to pull information from him that he doesn't want to give.
You're a prime suspect, and your alibi is that you were in the guest house with another prime suspect at the time. It doesn't look good for you.
Have you got a problem with me?
Everyone has a problem with you, Bronwyn. I can arrest you for something right now. How does perverting the course of justice sound?
Kinky.
I'm not sure what charge that is, but maybe it's a little bit kinky.
Oh, you are pushing me today, young lady.
Well, nothing else we can talk about.
But I couldn't do it. I had to know. I had to know if I had just killed this girl.
Alright, let's change into someone else.
Somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Right, we can't just do it in front of people, obviously.
Hello, I'm Rain.
Screamed at me to flee.
And you also might have noticed that we can't talk to the person that we are imitating, so I was not able to talk to Bronwyn while taking the form of Bronwyn.
Have you met the new detective yet? We're basically under 24-hour surveillance now.
Do you think Sam's onto us?
Onto what exactly?
The real reason we're here. What we did last night, our role in the murder.
That third one sounds maybe a bit dangerous. Let's go with the top one.
The reason we're here.
Sam's not a mind reader. At least I don't think so. Just try not to let anything slip.
Oh, that's all we can say. So they do have some reason for being here that we don't know.
I was holding my breath, afraid to...
Rain, I'm so worried about Bronwyn. What are we going to do?
Why are you worried about Bronwyn?
The chief thinks she killed Dorota.
Maybe she did kill Dorota.
Alright, let's ask this one.
That's not even funny, Rain. Bronwyn's the least murdery person we know. But okay, let's say she did do it. What possible reason could she have for killing Dorota?
Psychopathic tendencies?
I like the description as the least murdery person we know. Maybe it was a crime of passion.
Crime of passion?
Maybe. Maybe Bronwyn and Dorota were secretly lovers. And Bronwyn found out that Dorota was seeing someone else and killed her in a jealous fit of rage. Or maybe that's just another one of your twisted late night fantasies, in which case, leave me out of it.
Well, Lexi certainly doesn't believe that Bronwyn had anything to do with it.
Her upper body was twisted, with
Oh, Violet's not here.
face staring up into the sky.
Let's go talk to the chief.
I saw her.
Ray, I'm busy. You gonna turn yourself in?
Can we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to see me when I'm angry. A woman is dead. Go play card games somewhere else or whatever the hell it is you do.
I clasped
Well, nothing we can do there. Clearly the chief does not have a high opinion of the tarot readers.
my hand. I spoke.
Back to our room. And now, let's go with Lexi.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
Her as I began to pull her hair away from her face.
What's up, Lexi? I'm sensing something's on your mind.
Well, you don't need
I'm worried about our alibi.
to be a mind reader to know that.
Don't worry about that. We don't have anything to hide. I'm more worried about Violet. I didn't see her last night, did you?
You think she's the murderer?
I'm not sure I'd go that far, but it's definitely suspicious.
Where was Violet last night?
I looked down at the girl as her chest stopped rising. Her eyes didn't.
Something's weird, isn't it? Ron seems strange today.
How are you?
Do you think Bronwyn might get falsely imprisoned? It happens all the time.
Are you looking to take over?
No. I'm just worried.
You take over the leadership of this group of 3 tarot readers. Very prestigious position.
In my car. I was.
Talk to Violet?
Hello.
Ah, she's
Lexi.
back, okay.
What can I do for you?
Please don't ask us to leave.
Okay, we'll go with the first
Don't
one.
ask us to leave.
Have you been speaking to Sam? You're safe for the minute.
That sounds ominous.
This kind of sounds a little ominous.
If one of your crew did murder Dorota, you can't really stay here, can you?
The police want alibis from everyone for last night.
I guess that does make sense. Let's ask this first one.
Well, I don't have one. I literally can't remember what I was doing.
Bronwyn says you're suspicious.
I mean, Bronwyn thinks that. What do you think about that, Violet?
Bronwyn says I'm suspicious. Incredible. She's suspicious, turning up and saying someone will die, and then they die.
Getting some animosity between Violet and Bronwyn.
As I saw the familiar red and blue lights reflecting through my window.
Alright, let's go see what the chief has to say.
What is it, Miss Taylor?
Why did you hire Sam?
I didn't hire Sam, the Shaw family did.
No, they didn't. Why did you hire Sam?
She wouldn't know that, right? Yeah, she wouldn't have any way of knowing that.
The hiring of Sam is no concern of yours either way.
Who would want to kill...
You doing your own investigation? Great! Let me know when you find out.
Bronwyn thinks you've got it in for her.
Well, she's right.
I go after bad guys. If she's a bad guy, then I've got it in for her.
Why weren't the police protecting Dorota?
In hindsight, that does look like a good idea, doesn't it? We didn't believe you. We still don't.
Are Dorota's family safe?
Why? What are you going to do?
Nothing, just checking. Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Is that a threat? If anything happens to the Shaw family, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Leave. Now.
Those curiosity shop.
Hopefully none of these people actually talk to each other and ask them about these conversations we've been having. Because they might realize that, hey, they haven't actually been talking to each other, but they think they have. All right, who do we want to... So, I guess Violet next.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
We are getting little bits and pieces of information here and there. Not that much.
It was...
You don't trust me, do you, Violet? Is it because I read tarot? Why don't you let me pull a card for you?
I don't know if we should let her do a reading for us if she thinks we're Violet, because clearly the cards would know that we're not.
Okay.
Did you sleep well last night?
Yes, thank you.
I didn't see you yesterday evening.
Well, we know that Bronwyn did not see Violet last night.
I stayed in my room. You can ask Lexi. That reminds me, I think I found a book of yours. It's called He Came Through the Shadows.
What makes you think it's mine?
Your name's written on the inside cover.
I don't know if that's going to be relevant.
Gravity accelerates me towards the pavement.
Mrs. Gallagher, an unexpected pleasure.
How long are you planning to be here?
In town? I really don't know. Until the tarot tells us to leave, or you kick us out, obviously.
How did you know Dorota was going to die?
We didn't know she was definitely going to die, only that she was definitely in danger of dying. Tarot cards can tell you a lot when you know what you're looking for.
We slept in shifts to guard that dumpster.
Not a whole lot of information that time.
Hello, Violet. Is everything okay? Ignore the mess. I was just going to tidy it up.
Did you have a pleasant evening last night?
Great, thanks. The room's really lovely.
But you weren't in this room, were you?
We don't... Do we know that? I forget if they were in... Bronwyn and Lexi. Were they in Bronwyn's room or Lexi? Well, we know that Violet didn't see them.
See you around.
I stayed here. I was playing solitaire with Bronwyn.
Isn't solitaire for one player?
Yeah, I was playing and she was scoring.
Nothing else we can talk about here.
He gave me one long final grin.
All right, let's talk to the chief.
I'm immortal.
What's going on, Violet? Is everything okay?
Yes, I'm okay. No, I'm not okay.
What's the matter?
The new detective's acting strangely. I think I might be the killer.
Yeah, I might have done it.
Have you stopped taking the pills? Look, just take the pills. Dr. Tanner said you'd start hearing and seeing things again. You're no good to me like that. Just take the goddamn pills. Off you go. I'm being subtle. I don't want to see you back here, okay? You got anything to report, give me a call. Any problems, talk to Danny. Danny, remember?
Well, that's a character we haven't seen.
We just talked about this. I said I'd post somebody this morning, and I did. Then I told you it was Danny. Take the pills, Violet. Take the pills.
Violet has some medication that she may or may not be taking. And apparently there is an officer named Danny who's been posted here, I guess. We haven't seen him.
Animal, but I'm not sure.
All right, let's, well, there's the chief. He's the only person we haven't done yet.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Blind dog, actually.
Oh, right.
Who knows whether you've made the right decision or not, Claude?
How's Bronwyn been?
Overly nice. She's covering her tracks well if she has anything to hide.
What was it I asked you to do again?
Yeah, that thing, what was it?
You just told me to report back to you if I noticed anything suspicious. Good grief, Claude. You're a bit young to be losing your marbles already.
That's kind of a conspicuous question. We need to cover our tracks.
Claude, we've been through this. I honestly don't remember. I checked my diary and there's no entry, so I was probably here, as always.
How can you not remember, Violet?
Yeah, how can she not remember?
I don't know. Which is exactly what I said in my statement. Don't try and get me to contradict myself.
Ah, it's a reference to contradiction, which was all about getting people to contradict themselves.
It's like a alien, I suppose.
Let's talk to Bronwyn.
Chief Dupont, what a pleasant surprise. I think we've covered just about everything twice over, but if you think I'm hiding something...
Who are you really, Bronwyn Castle?
Yeah, who is she?
Does it bother you, Chief Dupont, knowing there are things in this world that aren't black and white? You don't know what to file me under, and that makes you uncomfortable. Or perhaps you've already made up your mind about me. Why don't you tell me who you think I am?
You're a con artist.
Well, we know that is what the chief thinks.
I haven't asked anyone for a penny.
Looks like that's all we can say.
I just thought it looked nice. Did you think so?
And Rain?
Good evening, Chief Dupont.
Dupont.
Dorota's family, what does the tarot say about them?
I can do a reading, if you want.
Yeah, sure.
It's the Five of Cups. It talks about loss and dealing with that loss. I don't think you need a tarot reader to interpret that one.
Bronwyn never been arrested?
The tarot cards they're using have that paint from the intro sequence, the credits. I don't think that's what tarot cards look like.
Not since I've met her. She's a lawful good type character, if you play D&D.
Yeah, I get the reference.
Lexi ever been in trouble with the police?
No. Not to my knowledge. She's sweet and innocent. Or haven't you picked up on that yet?
Well, there might be something lurking beneath that innocence.
I really like the sound of that very much.
Speaking of Lexi, let's talk to her.
Oh, Chief Inspector, you gave me a shock. What is it? What have I done?
Tell me about Bronwyn.
She seems to be used to being accused of things.
She's an Aquarius, her favourite colour is green. What else do you need to know?
Well, a lot.
Is she your leader?
Leader? This isn't a cult. She looks after me and Rain, makes sure we eat healthy and brush our teeth.
Why are you here in August?
Bronwyn's your mom?
Well, it's not for the nightlife, I can tell you that. This is where the cards told us to go. I guess you could call it destiny.
Do you know anyone here?
What's wrong with the nightlife?
What's wrong with the nightlife?
There isn't any. And sometimes a girl needs a party.
What were you doing last night?
Nothing. I mean, I was here all night. This cat's on a... Bron can vouch for me.
Bronwyn's the prime suspect. I don't know if we're going to take her word.
So then the room...
So that's everyone, I think. I believe so. Of course, we cannot go to the chief while we are the chief. So let's return to our normal form. Let's talk to people again and see if we can get any information. See if we can use any information that we learned while we were other people.
Living up to your...
I assume you've been to see Chief Dupont already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're taking pills, right? Don't ask me how I know that.
I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person.
Well, you hide it well, but clozapine's for schizophrenia, isn't it?
I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
Well, I have been a doctor in a previous life. Except that one was, well, I mean, that one ended with some supernatural occurrences, I guess. Did you know Dorota?
Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though.
You say that with such a sarcasm. Dorota was a precious lamb.
Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they?
I guess sure, okay. So Dorota was nice.
Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest.
Dorota was slutty.
Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend.
Where do I find her boyfriend?
Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already.
Alright, so now we know of another character we could speak to. Who are the other guests?
They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually.
Doesn't think too much of them from that tone. Don't ask them to leave.
Demands already? I'm only thinking of doing it.
What were you doing last night?
It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere.
Have you ever been to Dorota's house?
No, and I didn't murder her, if that's what you're asking.
All right.
It's like an Asian.
Nothing new for Bronwyn. We didn't learn anything new that we can ask her about. About Rain? No.
What a dragon.
Or
Lexi? No, nothing there.
Blind dog, actually.
Oh, right.
We can take a cab?
It's 6 o'clock, and
yeah, okay. That's the end of the chapter.
Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Dark clouds on the horizon. All right, so we could keep investigating, maybe if there are some questions that we haven't asked, or we could just go to the next chapter. But I think that's enough for this look at the Shapeshifting Detective. So you can really tell that it was made by the people who made Dr. Decker. Just like the directorial style and the dialogue seems pretty similar. The biggest change, of course, was that in Dr. Decker, you talked to everyone through a text parser. And you just had to figure out what keywords you needed to use to get the next response. This is completely different in that you are just clicking on options that appear on the screen, so there's no guessing or anything. It's much shorter and much more to the point. See, I can see a reflection right there. We're not supposed to see our own face, but you can see it there. So I wonder if that has to do with feedback from Dr. Decker, because that was a very unique thing about Dr. Decker. Just, I don't have anything to click on. I don't have any questions to click on. I just have to figure out what keywords are applicable to the current person and the current situation and ask a question using those keywords. And it was kind of difficult to figure that out all the time. They did give you a hint system, but it was much more difficult to figure out what it was that was relevant and what you needed to ask, whereas this one just kind of gives it right to you. And then you get new options that appear when you learn information from other characters. So this is a much more concise mystery game, I think, than Dr. Decker. I don't know if I like that or don't like that. I kind of like what Dr. Decker was trying to do, but I felt that Dr. Decker needed to be more forgiving in getting the correct keywords, as well as maybe recording more clips for different words that you might try. So it did have problems in that respect, but I did like what it was trying to do. I'm not sure if I like this game simplifying the system down to just clicking options on the screen. I don't know. Plus, another thing I might mention that it does... This kind of seems a little too dry for my taste, which seems strange because you're talking about a game where you are a shapeshifter who is solving a mystery through your shape-shifting abilities. And I was thinking that I keep forgetting the name of the actor, but the person who plays Jinx in Contradiction, when he's on the screen, the thing that I'm thinking of is Contradiction was a very interesting, compelling mystery game, and one reason for that, I think, was because of how charismatic and funny the main character is. And a lot of his performance is what carries Contradiction and makes it as good as it is. And that's kind of similar to something like Deadly Premonition, in which a lot of the charm of that game is because of the charm of Agent York. And when I think about Dr. Decker and this game, The Shapeshifting Detective, both games use a blank slate for the main character. And I think that maybe is something that kind of detracts from the game. I think I do prefer the main character to be a strong, gregarious personality, such as in Contradiction, as opposed to this style in which the main character is just simply a blank slate. There's nothing there. And I think that's maybe something that takes away from the appeal of this game. But nevertheless, this is an interesting idea of being able to talk to the same people but pretending to be other people to see what answers they give you and to see what lies they may be saying. Don't know if the direction of this game is going to go into the supernatural, as Dr. Decker did. We start off with the supernatural, in that we're a shapeshifter, and it does seem like the larger story here does have to do with who our character is. Our character seems to be in some kind of trouble. We don't know what. And it also is indicated that our character screwed up the last job. We don't know how. But apparently we were found out as being a shapeshifter. And that seems to me to be the more interesting story here as to what our character is, who are we, what's our past, as opposed to the murder mystery that's being presented. But anyway, that's enough of that. I think that's The Shapeshifting Detective. I'm always into full motion video games. I do like this developer that they're making, modern full motion video games with modern high quality video. That's neat. That's a nice thing. So I was interested in checking this out. And it's available now on the PC. Check it out if you want. But that has been our look at The Shapeshifting Detective. That has been our little playthrough of Chapter 1. Don't know where this goes, but it seems like it could be interesting.